On today's episode of Chicago Cubs Central, we cover a couple of different topics. First and foremost, are the Cubs still have the best odds to re-sign Kyle Tucker in the offseason? Also, Cubs wallop on the Colorado Rockies. Is it something to be proud of, or is it something that you should have done anyways? And last but not least, Michael Busch and Dansby Swanson, for that matter, are both heating up, and they're heating up at a really, really, really good time. Let's talk about it. All right. So the Chicago Cubs go ahead and take care of business and win 11-7, beating the Colorado Rockies in game one of this series against the Colorado Rockies. Actually, it really should have been a little bit better than that, but Cubs going Cub. Like I said, especially when you're putting in guys like Ben Brown and you're putting in gosh, I forget the other guy's name, but he's asked too. Honestly, he's been asked for a minute. Ryan Brazier. Actually, I don't think it was Ryan Brazier that they put in. Who else did they put in to fucking pitch for the Cubs? That was awful. They gave up runs. Drew Pomeranz, my bad. Him and Brian Brazier look a lot alike to me, honestly. So, I mean, it is what that is. But I'm your host, Mike Jones. What's up, man? Appreciate each and every last one of you guys for tuning in to this episode. You please believe you can go ahead and leave a voicemail at 217-816-5498, or you can write us at Chicago Cubs Baseball 1992 at gmail.com. Listen, the Chicago Cubs do go ahead and take care of business. They win 11-7. Beating up on the Colorado Rockies, who have only won 38 games this season, are 3 games away from having a 100-loss season. Hey, White Sox, look, somebody else does play baseball worse than you guys. But with that being said, man, the Chicago Cubs do go ahead and take care of business. This is a series that they should look to sweep. But I do have my concerns about them pitching Javier Assad tomorrow. Javier Assad is a home run victim. And like I said, he is somebody that can't give up home runs for time. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. But Cade Horton, let's focus on the pitcher from Friday night. His record is now 9-4 on the season. He did give up 2 runs in this game. He has an ERA of 2.92. 70 pitches, 45 of those being strikes. He pitched 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Listen, Coors Field is a tough place to pitch. The ball just flies out of that ballpark with the altitude, and playing in Coors Field. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's not the best place to pitch, but Chicago Cubs did what they needed to do. They took advantage of that. And we'll talk about the 2 people that took advantage of that the most, I felt like, as our last topic of today's episode. But the Chicago Cubs did go ahead and take care of business. And yeah, man, it was really, really good to see. Really, really awesome of them to have this type of success. And we're excited about it. And like I said, you all should be excited about it too. They took care of business. They did what they're supposed to do. They should be the ones to hand the Rockies their 99th loss. That's right. They know what that means. That means they win Saturday and they win Sunday. Take care of business. Don't play with your food. Take care of business. This team is a team that is nearing the end, and you need to go ahead and put them out of their miseries. Don't play around with them. Don't give them an opportunity to beat you in a game. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't play with your food, man. Take care of business. And some of those Cubs hitters did feast in this game. Let that be known also. So, with that being said, like I said, just expect the Chicago Cubs to do the same thing on Saturday. Saturday, they will see these same Colorado Rockies again. It'll be McCade Brown, who was 0-1 with a 9.82 ERA, going up against Javier Assad, who was 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA. So 2 pitchers that aren't the greatest, but one is better than the other. So hopefully Javier Assad can hold things down get outs, at least make it 5 or 6 innings would be awesome, and not give up too many home runs or runs scored. And hopefully the Cubs can have a Saturday game where they win. The game starts at 7:10, half an hour earlier than the Friday night game. And yeah, man, hopefully the Chicago Cubs can do what they need to do and take a second W and give Javier Assad his first win of the season. That will be key for him, and it's going to take him being able to get strikes and get outs. But we're going to cover our next topic after that, which is two batters that I believe are heating up. We're going to talk about that, but first we have these messages. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Jones here from Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. And I'm here to talk to you about a product that has changed my life and is changing lives all across the country. That's right. What am I talking about? I'm talking about What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Jones here from Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. And I'm here to talk to you about a product that has changed my life and is changing lives all across the country. That's right. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Dansby. What is Dansby? Dansby is an all-natural ingredient that helps with energy and also helps you to be able to get done what you need to get done. It helps with focus, with energy, and helps you to power through even the toughest of days. That's right. I know you may think to yourself, Mike Jones, how could you possibly run 2 podcast channels, run a private business, work a full-time job, have a family, as well as do all the other extracurriculars that you enjoy doing? Listen, man, I'm telling y'all my secret right now. It's Dansby. Dansby has helped me so much. It not only helps me with energy to stay up while I'm at work instead of taking those midday naps. Instead, I take Dansby, and not only does it help me power through my work day, but it also helps me to be able to be my best version of myself when I get home for my family and for all of you when I'm recording my podcast. That's right. Dansby today can help you in so many different ways, guys. Listen, all you got to do is go online, search today for Dansby. You can be better. I love Dansby because it's jitterless energy and it helps so much. They have so many different unique flavors that you could only find through Dansby. And on top of that, it's made right here in the USA. Dansby has 0 sugar. Dansby is gluten-free. Dansby has no hidden ingredients in it. It's all fresh, all clean. It is the good stuff for you, made right here. And like I said, the drinks themselves, once you buy a jar, the drinks themselves basically come out to about $1 per drink when you make one. I take one, I put some cold water in my Dansby tumbler, and I shake it up, and I'm going about my day. And I've had so much success since. It's also helped with my focus. I'm telling you guys, if you don't use Dansby, you are missing out. And guess what? Today, when you choose to use Dansby, if you go to the Dansby website and you type in Cubs Central Pod 2024, when you place your order, you get 10% off today just for using Cubs Central Pod 2024 when you place your order. Guys, listen, I don't know what you're waiting on. Dansby has changed my life. It can change yours too. All you got to do, head over to the website. They have so many different flavors. Place your order and then press Cubs Central 2024, Cubs Central Pod 2024, and place your order today. Don't miss out, or else. All right. So we are going to also talk about the Chicago Cubs and who I believe are starting to heat up. One and first, we have to talk about Dansby Swanson, who had himself a night. Dansby Swanson went 3 for 5, 2 home runs, almost had 3. One of them would have been a grand slam, which actually would have given him 7 RBIs, but he had 6 RBIs instead, and he had 1 triple and scored 3 times himself. Listen, Dansby Swanson has slowly but surely been putting himself together a decent second half, raising up his batting average and also making himself Um, put himself into some elite company. You want to know what that company is? That company is Dansby Swanson, Andre Dawson, and Billy Williams. They are the only Cubs players in Cubs history to hit 2+ home runs, 1+ triple, and 6 RBIs in one game. That's elite company for Dansby Swanson. That's Mr. Cub. I'm sorry, not Mr. Cub. That's sweet swinging Billy Williams, and that's Andre Dawson in the same conversation with Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson's in the same conversation with those guys. That's what he did in today's game. And slowly but surely, he's been climbing up that batting average and cleaning things up and trying to find a way to make things better and to be a better hitter for his team with runners in scoring position. And like I said, I give Craig Counsell a lot of flack often about the things he says, but one of the things that he mentioned and one of the things that he said is like somebody like Dansby, who he caught a lot of flack when the Cubs really first start scuffling, about where Dansby Swanson was placed in the batting order. And he said, Dansby's gonna have his ups and his downs every season. Like he'll have a week or so where he can't hit the ball at all, but then he'll go and have 2 or 3 weeks where the guy's an incredible hitter and he's hitting everything in sight. It's just kind of the way Dansby goes. Dansby Swanson right now, his batting average is up to 251 with batting in the we're batting in the 7th spot in the batting order. And like I said, he's just seeing success right now. And it's good for him. It's good for morale. It's good. I'm sorry, the 8th spot. And he's hitting right now. It's good for him. It's a good morale boost for the team. Somebody that went cold in this game is Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker went 0 for 3 in this game, did score a run after being walked. Somebody else that is seeing success that I really, really want to highlight is Michael Busch. Michael Busch playing first base, hitting leadoff. Michael Busch in this game hit his 27th or 28th home run. 25th home run of the year. And saw a lot of success in this game, like I said. And I just think Michael Busch is showing you that he is the first baseman that the Chicago Cubs needed. And he is great defensively, but he's also showing you that he can hit too. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it one single solitary second, because honestly, that's what we need. I like to think of this team, and I like to think about what if Kyle Schwarber was on this team with a great first baseman that could hit like Michael Busch is hitting, and Seiya Suzuki's also hitting, and things like that. I mean, I just think that I think about what the possibilities could have been having somebody like that. So we'll have to see what happens. But again, we will be in for a treat. So we'll just see what happens. But Michael Busch has been on a roll. Dansby Swanson is starting to heat up. Pay attention to those two guys because they are really, really, really doing good. And again, like I said, if they can keep this up, we'll have to see what happens. So, last but not least, our last topic of the day: ESPN's Jeff Passan was on the Cubs Weekly podcast with Lance Brozowski, and he was discussing all manner of Cubs topics. It was a fun listen if you guys haven't went and listened. But one of the major topics that he was talking about was the Cubs' potential to re-sign Kyle Tucker. Passan noted that, yes, Tucker's big swoon this year does have the potential to materially impact the dollars he can expect in free agency, and it would take a monster final month to get him back to that $450+ million range that some were speculating back in April. The over-under is $400 million right now, says Passan, based on what he's heard. But he lists the Chicago Cubs still as the most likely team to sign Kyle Tucker when all is said and done. He said that that the Cubs are favorites to land Kyle Tucker, but they do have a limit they're not going to want to go past. So I guess the question is, what is that limit that the Chicago Cubs are unwilling to go past? Or better yet, Cubs faithful, I'm going to ask you, what is your limit that you are not willing to go past to re-sign Kyle Tucker and to keep him being a part of the Chicago Cubs for the foreseeable future? Like I said, I mean, Chicago Cubs have their limits and they have what they're willing to spend, and they are not willing to spend over there. We saw with Alex Bregman in the last offseason, and like I said, we see it often with this team. They are unwilling to do certain things, and they don't budge, and they aren't swayed by what somebody else is doing, or what other teams are doing, or what other teams are offered. They stick to their guns. So if they say they're only willing to offer Kyle Tucker a certain amount, you can believe that they're only going to offer Kyle Tucker a certain amount. Whatever that amount is whatever Jed and whatever ownership has decided, and that's that, man. But you guys, let me know in the comments what are you willing to sign Kyle Tucker for? Like I said, let me know in the comments. I'll respond. We'll get a conversation going. Love to have you guys. But yeah, man, that's the show for today. And of course, as always, every single time the Chicago Cubs win here on Chicago Cubs Central, we fly the W. That's right. The Chicago Cubs pick up their 77th win on the season. It did not come easy, but we got the job done. And hey, we move on from here. But listen, I appreciate each and every last one of you for tuning in to this episode. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Chicago Cubs Central. Remember, this is your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. Until next time, go Cubs, go.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the number one spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.